Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is our inaugural recruitment webinar that we're doing, and I'm super excited to be with you today. We're going to bring some real value. We're going to show people, recruiters, existing recruiters, and those individuals that are interested in bringing recruitment into the structure of their current company, right? You don't necessarily have to be a recruiter to be able to take advantage of the opportunity that we're presenting. It's something that you can overlay into your current business and make some serious money. All right, so let's get this party started. Let me just kind of set this up here. All right, so we call this the easiest platform for mortgage recruiters or those interested in mortgage recruiting to earn $250,000 annually. And we are dead serious. So I'm really going to enjoy walking you through this because the team and I spent a lot of time going through the multiple layers that allow us to bring this opportunity to you. Okay. I'll just let you read this. I'll read it to you. Our competitive edge lies in offering the best loan officer compensation in the industry. Okay. This advantage makes it effortless for you to demonstrate our value when presenting it to loan officers. So what we're claiming, okay, we're claiming that we've put together or figured out the most advantageous balance, if you will, for loan officers to receive maximum compensation, okay, have the flexibility of many products, product diversification, and a high level of execution and support, which is backed up by technology and people. So this isn't the dollar store. We're not coming here telling you that we figured out how to make something cheap. What we're telling you is we have a premium service, a premium platform, and we are giving it to you guys at a value that's so incredible you haven't seen it before in the mortgage industry. And you get the opportunity to sell that, if you will, to the loan officer practitioners. All right, so let's move this along. Say it again: the best, superlative, the best LO comp in the industry. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, so let's talk about that first. Let's talk about what you're going to be selling to the LO loan officer. For those that don't know, flat per file fee. So we make this extremely clean. It's $1,250 per file. Now that's deducted off of the commission, the earnings, the revenue, if you will, right? So when someone makes X amount of money on a loan, when their compensation is set at X amount of points, we're just going to take $1,250 off of that, and that's it. Very clean, very transparent, and super competitive. Now you might say initially, well, no, I know somebody that they offer a little bit less than $1,250. That's not the most competitive deal in the market. Well, it is, and this next piece is why. We do take $1,250 per file, but we cap it out at a certain point. So $20,000 annually. Now that's where the magic is made, because $1,250 divided by $20,000, right, is 16 loans. So you will not, as the loan officer, pay more than 16 loans or $20,000 annually in commission back to the company. Now, let's just take a second here and talk about this so we can kind of put it into perspective, because you're as the recruiter selling this. I just got done yesterday talking to, and this loan officer said he's coming to our company. Guaranteed rate, that's where he works at now. Closes about 50 deals a year, okay? We calculated based on the rates that he was selling, given to his client, okay, that his company, guaranteed rate, made around $160,000 on his production, right? Over the course of the year, about $160,000. Well, if he uses our platform, he's going to be able to sell, follow me, a slightly more competitive rate and still generate that same accumulation of money. So he'll still generate the $160,000 that guaranteed rate made, but instead he's going to make that money minus the $20,000. He's going to get an incredible pay raise. What we've been looking at from the retail side is 2 to 3 times higher revenue in the loan officer's pocket from the platform that we have. Now, these platforms are not brand new. They've been around without the cap out. No cap out on the mortgage side, okay? But these low-cost models have been around. In the brokering, there's a lot of companies. There's Edge, there's Nexa, there's C2 Financial, there's Barrett Financial. There's a number of these companies. But those are low-service companies. No technology, no platform. Do everything yourself. It's like the dollar store, okay? You got to figure it all out on your own. We, on the other hand, are comparable to some of the top retail companies out there with the technology and the platform that we have in place. Okay, so I'll touch on that a little bit later. I'm not going to jump too far into that now. What I really want you to understand is on the 17th file, the loan officer is no longer paying at all any money to corporate. Okay. Now, let's jump into that. Let's jump a little bit into what it is that we're offering and why I say that we're target compared to some of our competitors out there who I described as the dollar store. And listen, nothing's wrong with the dollar store. I go there every once in a while to buy some things like a pack of rubber bands or I don't know what else. Maybe that's it. Last time I went to the dollar store, I needed a pack of rubber bands. But we are a more premium company. We are a more premium outlet. We put more energy into making a platform. I've invested a considerable amount of resources, money into making something amazing for us. We went out and studied what correspondent lending was. We made all the different accounts, whether it be a FIN number or going over and making an account with the Veterans Administration so we can pay for VA insurance premiums ourselves, because that's what some lenders require if you're non-delegated. So we've done everything across that board. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Many of you won't, right? But my point here is we are in a different league. We are not in the same league as some of these other companies that I mentioned a minute ago. And that's how we have 20 plus non-delegated partners, okay? We're not just stuck inside of UWM to be non-delegated like a Barrett Financial or Nexa or eMortgage Capital or any of those companies, right? They might have 1, 2, maybe 3 non-delegated relationships. We have 20 non-delegated relationships. We're working with PennyMac. You have NextBank. You have NewRez. You have Flagstar. The list goes on and on with the different companies that you have access to be able to get the most competitive rates for your client and execute the best service. We are different. We are not the same. My job is to spell that difference out so you truly understand and can convey what it is that we're giving to these other institutions, these loan officer practitioners. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. That's something that you really got to pay attention to. It takes a lot of work to be able to have a platform where you can go out and work with these other entities. Now, let me tell you the main difference, right? This is how, there's a bunch of little things you have to do, but the biggest piece is the control of your own disclosures. You have to have an enterprise level LOS system. You have to be plugged into some kind of doc management system, right? Like we have DocMagic is our company, right? DocMagic is plugged into the Meridian link. That's how we do all the disclosures across our 20 plus non-delegate lenders. If you don't have that infrastructure built, if you don't have the subject matter knowledge to be able to create that stuff, you're only going to be, you can be stuck with UWM. Because know why? They do the disclosures for you, right? And they'll tell you, take these disclosures and go somewhere else and use them somewhere else. But that doesn't work. They know that. You need your own set of disclosures. Every bank has their own package set up inside of the DocMagic platform. So you have custom packages across, like I can't do a 6-month ARM with UWM's set of disclosures. They don't even have the loan product. There's certain 2-1-1-1 buy downs I can't do, right? They don't have the product. You need the right tools to do the job of being an effective loan officer that can service the masses of clients that are out there. And that's what we show you how to do. Okay. So you're selling that. Remember, I got to remember who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you recruiters. This is what you're telling the loan officers that you're suggesting come to our company. Now, you have not seen before this level of platform and infrastructure given to the loan officer at the low price of $1,250 per file and capped out at 16 files. It doesn't exist. The banks out there, the mortgage banks out there that are comparable to what I have going on here, they play the margin game. They have 100 basis points, 150 basis points, 200 basis points built into the back of their system. I have the same systems. I know exactly how they work, right? So that's what I've done. I've done the studying to reverse engineer everything that's done in this industry from these different outlets. And then I put back together what I felt was the best platform for the people on the streets, for the people that were like me, for the people that had to go out there and originate and work with clients day in and day out to give them exactly what they need and to earn that business. Okay, so that gives you an idea. I really want to point that I spent a little extra time right here on this part because there's 29 delegated lenders, but there's 80 broker partners out there too. So listen, if you can't get the client a loan, like one of the loan officers you recruit, they can't get them a loan in our platform, then that person can't get a loan, right? That's how much product diversification we have. We are PKPs. I have all these acronyms: IPA, income producing activity; PKP, product knowledge pro, and that's part of the coaching program too. I'll talk about that later, right? But 80 plus brokers, 29 delegated lenders, hundreds of loan products. It's all here for you. Now, with one of our special partners out there, who I absolutely love and I think and respect, and think that they deserve a little better image than what they have in the broker community, is Rocket Pro TPO, because they're doing some amazing things. So a lot of our loans go through them because they are competitive on price. They execute like hell. They know what they're doing. And the Rocket TPO Pro side is absolutely amazing with the amount of information, the support, the condo cert program that they have. Everything else under the table is absolutely wonderful. Okay, and they're just one. I was talking to the guaranteed rate guy the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, Ramon, well, I have this and I have this and I have that." And I was like, if we just compare guaranteed rate against Rocket Pro TPO, we're smashing you guys, right? But keep in mind, you don't only get Rocket Pro TPO at wholesale rates. And these are raw rates you get. I'm not stepping on anything. No margin. I take my $1,250. That's it. I'm not even looking in at your loan officer's pockets. I don't care how much money they're making. There's no caps. I'm not doing the cap thing, right? It's like, make your money. Just give me my $1,250. That's all I want. $1,250. And I only want it 16 times. Then you can have the rest. We'll help you. Our system and support and operations and profit will still help you. Okay, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. But the free credit reports are expensive. They're on your guys' P&L. All these branches out there, right? Clients are paying for them. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess and debacle. Rocket Pro TPO pays for them for us. And I'll tell you one thing, not only do they pay, they're not using it as a trick. They're doing it out of kindness of their hearts, because they know we need it, because it's a challenging market. I don't know all the reasons that they're doing this, right? But they're not using it as a lure to sort of like, come in here and I'm going to whack you on the other side. They're still giving us competitive pricing. They're still helping us with amazing support. They're still doing all these other things, but they're paying for the credit reports. Then they pay for the rapid rescores. And then they'll do the rapid rescore for you. It's impressive, to say the least. EPO waivers. Now, credit reports and rapid rescores go to every client. Every partner with Rocket. The EPO waivers are only for specific clients that are Pinnacle. We happen to be a Pinnacle partner with Rocket. So that means you as a LO, right, coming over, you don't have EPOs and any loan that we put through with Rocket. Of course, you can't trigger the EPO yourself. You can't close a purchase loan and 2 months later do a refinance and be like, I have no EPOs. You get paid twice. It can't be you that triggered the EPO. But if someone else does, if your client goes off, gets a refinance, a lot of companies, and some of them going down to 90 days, that's good. 90 days, that's great. But we're at 0 days, right? No EPOs. All right. So how do you earn the 250K? Okay, so let's talk about that. I said 1250 per file. What I'm doing is essentially giving 20% of that revenue to the recruiter for that loan officer. So if you have LO pays a flat per file fee on their first 16 files, right? That comes up to $20,000 for the company. All right, the recruiter will get a portion of that flat file fee annually. So you get $250 per file up to 16 file cap, right? That makes it to where every single LO that you recruit is worth $4,000 annually to you. $4,000 annually is what that LO is worth to you. Okay. So if you're looking at this and you say that the cap out is so strong, and let's be honest, okay. So if you're wondering about this, like you really kind of think about it and kind of like sit back, this hasn't been done on the mortgage side. But on the real estate side, they've done this a lot. Keller Williams, EXP, the Fifth Real, the 52 other companies that open up every other month trying to do this. It's harder to do on the mortgage side because we have so many. It's just the process of us originating a loan is much more complicated than the real estate transaction. So it's easier for the real estate people to kind of like throw this together. Very complicated on the mortgage side. That's why you haven't seen it. You have to be able to control costs. You have to be able to have the proper systems. You have to be able to, this is so much you have to do. And that's what I've built over the last couple of years. This wasn't thought about yesterday. This is not throwing spaghetti against the wall. We've been working on, I mean, it wouldn't be the best. I wouldn't be able to claim to say it was the best if the work wasn't done. Okay. So let me go back a couple. Okay. So what do we have here? We have the 16. So each LO recruit makes $4,000 annually. So I just want to go through this one more time. I'm taking $1,250. I'm giving you $250 because you brought that person in. Okay. So 16 files is $20,000. There goes the $250 you get, right? 250 times 16 is $4,000. So you're making $4,000 annually on that LO. And really, it's like an annuity because you're going to get it multiple years. And we'll talk about that too. So you'll recruit at least 5 to 6 LOs a month on this program. I went out and I've been recruiting LOs myself. Only on the last month, a little bit over a month and a half, I probably recruited just 2 branches, about 18 people there. Got about 16 retail LOs. There's somewhere around in between 35 and 45 people that I'm actively talking to that I have set up as high intent are already converted in my system. Why? Because we're so freaking competitive. It's about the dollars, right? I mean, everybody wants the most dollars. Everybody wants the best deal. That's why Amazon's amazing, right? Walmart was amazing and shut down a bunch of stores until Amazon came along. Now Walmart's trying to do the same thing that Amazon's doing. What does it come down to? Right? It's the cost. And what's that new place? I got the orange bags. I wish somebody could talk. I wish you guys could talk back to me. I think it's called Tamu or something like that. But I saw some stuff on there, and what are they? Cheaper. Just cheaper, right? But still giving you that nice experience on the website. Still giving you the products you're looking for. Still doing this and doing that, but giving it to you at a more competitive price. Same thing we're doing, but we're doing it in the mortgage space. It's a high barrier to entry in the mortgage space. People just can't, Tamu just can't pop up in the mortgage space. You got to get licenses and this, all that kind of stuff, right? It's going to take somebody that really, truly understood, that was a top originator, that did a bunch of business himself and has an IT background and has the desire to help the loan officers on the streets and put more money back in their pockets because he sees the way all these retail entities and a lot of these bigger IMBs took advantage of them, right? Because these guys still have money. They still have their $20 million houses, basketball teams, whatever else from 2020 and 2021. But I don't see a lot of loan officers having excess savings accounts. They're struggling, right? There was a lot of money on the table. It just didn't land in your pockets. So I made it my mission with all the knowledge I had, right? The experience, the revenue, right? That I generate from being a top originator to invest in this platform so I can then put money back in your guys' pockets the way you deserve it. It happened once, but it won't happen again in the next boom. All right, let's move on. So building your team of 63 LOs earns you $252,000 annually. I would drop the mic, but I can't. I'm not holding it. So it's like, that's my little mic drop, right? 63 LOs ain't nothing for you to be able to get if you're a recruiter. And once you have 63 LOs, they're making you $252,000 a year. I am a data person too, so I looked at a lot of the data out there. There are over 150,000 LOs that are doing greater than 20 loans per month. So if you get 63 out of the 150,000, you got $250,000 per year. And some of you are going to go past the 63. Shit, 120 people under your umbrella is 252,000. I just told you I'm talking to 40 something and I run the company. I run this whole thing. So I'm doing it with the extra time that I have. Imagine somebody that's dedicated to this. 63 LOs earns you $252,000. It's amazing. Okay. Now, you don't get to have that LO into perpetuity, right? Then some of you will just be like, oh, I can get 60 LOs and I'm done for the rest of my life. Because that LO is going to continue to produce. Right? They're not going to stop producing. If they're producing well now, they're going to continue to produce. So, and they're not going to leave our company because we're taking such a low margin and all our technology and everything else is so great. So yeah, they'll be here for a while. This is about sustainability. But you do get them for 3 years. 3 years, you can earn revenue off of that LO. After that, on that 37th month, you won't make any more money off of that LO. So you do get them for 3 years. Okay. Okay. So how it works. You're a remote salesperson. Okay. There's onboarding and all that kind of stuff. We teach you how to do this. We also use all of these systems to help you manage the process of getting after these LOs. So emails, we use Modex, we manage LOs through Jazz HR, and we track them through our Salesforce platform. Okay. We help you target. Modex and MMI are the two platforms that we use to be able to identify the LOs that we want to go after. We don't want every LO. We will not I rejected, some recruiters brought me like 5 LOs last week, and I said no to all of them, right? Production's too low. Production's too low. This deal is not, go to Nexa. We are not them, right? Go to Barrett. We are not them. Go to Edge. We are not them. Go to eMortgage Capitals, because we are not them. Go to C2 Financial. We are not them. We are Client Direct Mortgage. We have the same essence and spirit as the individual that started this company, myself, Ramon Von Walker, who started this company, because we're the same corporation we've always been. Client Direct is a new brand, but we're the same corporation when I started 10 years ago. When I started 10 years ago, I closed 0 loans, didn't know what a 1003 was, and didn't know what a GFE. 3 short years later, I was top 100 in the country. A couple years after that, Tuan Nguyen, where you at? Shout out to Tuan Nguyen and I were competing back and forth, the only brokers to be top originators in the country, right? I didn't come from retail. I didn't work with Loan Depot or Rocket or this place or that place, right? I had an IT background. I had a desire to learn, and I held myself to a high regard. That's those same fundamentals and personality traits are what I use to build this platform. We go after success. We are producers. I'm not saying you got to be a top producer, right? You just can't be a part-time producer. That's mainly, I'm anything against any of those companies. I think they're great platforms for people that like work a couple different jobs or whatnot, and are I think it's great to get a license and have and subsidize your income. We're just not a subsidized income type of environment. Our platform and resources are to be used to individuals that treat this as a full-time career and have a minimum level of success, right? So that's really what we're all about. Okay, so the loan officer must have closed at least 6 loans in the last 12 months. That's the starter rate, right? That's gonna climb really quickly. So I'm just doing that to allow some people to come in, get access. I don't want to say no to a bunch of recruiters that are coming on, but at minimum, you better be doing a loan every other month. If you're not doing a loan every other month, that's not gonna fly. Eventually, and it's gonna happen very quickly, we'll get up to 16 will be our threshold, right? And then we'll get up probably 20. We probably won't take anybody that doesn't do more than 20. But right now, if you get 6, you can still, if you have 6, you can still get in. But don't hesitate, because we're not taking a bunch of LOs that are doing 6 loans a year, right? So, and we will expect that in our platform, we will help you build bigger, right? You will do more. You shouldn't do 6 loans and be like, oh, that's about all I want to do in my life as a loan officer. Well, we're probably not the best place for you, right? So you're 6, wanting to get up to 12, wanting to get up to 18, wanting to get up to 24, wanting to get up to 30. That's what we're about here, okay? All right. Additional loan officer benefits. This is what I'm talking about. This is how we help you do more business. Business development program in the leads. We have credit verified leads. We have the top realtor registry. We have the top realtor registry in the Salesforce have 57,000 realtors. So whether you use MMI, Modex, the Salesforce that has a bunch of people in there already that are realtors and do at least 12 plus deals, we have access for you. Loan officer leads that are, okay, so the recruitment, some loan officers may want to come in here and recruit. If you want to do that, we also help you do that, right? So that option is there too. And that's what this one said. Loan officer leads for LOs interested in recruiting. And something that's absolutely beautiful is our business development program. And that's where, and this is very strict, this is a very strict program. I want to be clear here, okay? This isn't loose. This is highly regulated within client direct mortgage. We make sure that people are using this program correctly, okay? But the Realtor Business Development Program allows, and it's not just realtors, but we'll talk about realtors, allows the realtors to work with us in a W-2 capacity as business development representatives, bona fide W-2 employees doing W-2 type activities week in and week out to generate leads for our mortgage loan officers. And they can get paid for that, okay? They can get paid on their closings from the leads that they generate. They don't have to be licensed. They can't be licensed. They're not loan officers. They're business development representatives. It's a great program, but we make sure we stay within the lines of the regulators and compliance and everything else when it comes to this program. So for those individuals that are participating in it, they really understand what they're doing. They come on the onboarding, they're accountable, they do all the work they're supposed to do. And it's really helpful in that recruitment strategy to make those relationships with realtors. Okay. Platform. This is where we dust everybody. LOS, Meridian Link. CRM, Salesforce. We built our own POS in Salesforce. We have the pricing engine, the instant quotes already built in. Meridian Link, right? Price My Loan. It's built into the Salesforce as well. It's a client communication with Chatter that's very similar to Slack. Operations goes back and forth. You have a Salesforce app. We have access to your phone and your SMS. Everything is there for you. You're not going out like a lot of these other places where you go use. One person has Lending Pad, one person has Calyx, one person has Arrive, one person has a new company. I can't remember their name. How do I help you? Like if you have a question, how does the operation team come in and help you, right? It's impossible. I mean, I guess you use some, a contract processor over there. They're inside of Lending Pad, same 3.2s back and forth. No, it's not how we operate. We have an overall platform that's an LOS integrated with the Salesforce CRM. The Mismo structure is built inside of the Salesforce. I won't bore you with details, but once you get in, you'll see this is one of the most advanced systems you've seen from the CRM side, Salesforce, to the communication with the LOS. And you'll start to learn it. And it's not something you'll learn overnight, but eventually you'll love it, okay? So we have in-house processing. We have full service where you can take advantage of that. You're also allowed to use your contract processor. If you have a processor you love, we're not going to take that away from you. Bring that person over. We'll get them set up. We'll be able to help them charge processing fees as a third-party fee, right? We'll be able to help them do that. And we have the infrastructure in place to help them do that. And it'll work out. So So you don't have to leave anything behind. Anything you want to bring to client direct that's part of the way you do business, right? Then you can bring it. And you know, it's almost like I'm speaking to the LO, but this is a recruiter's call. But recruiters, you should understand and be able to convey the same thing that I'm conveying. That's why I'm speaking in this fashion. Okay. All right. Onboarding is amazing. Listen, we built this thing to scale. So there's nothing that we haven't covered. Okay. So that's what my experience is working with Salesforce. They're an amazing company because they're not just a technology company, but they're business consultants. So they make you consider all the things that you should as you're going through this evolution and this process, this maturation process. Okay. So our onboarding is every Monday. We use Trainual. We have live combination. And then we go back to Trainual. We have a knowledge-based platform. We have a ton of videos that show you how to do so many things. We have SOS lines for support. You are not losing anything by coming to our platform. We are a premium platform. Okay. Pathfinder is great. Video library. Yep. Touched upon all that stuff. Then I did a coaching program, right? Because I was a top originator. You got some of you guys know the history, some of you may not, but just look at Scotsman Guy, Ramon Walker. They've written a couple articles on my journey. I spoke many a times, plenty podcasts, live speaking sessions, whether it be AIM, Housing Wire. I've spoken at some of their events out in North Carolina. That was a couple years ago. Yeah, so it's out there. The reputation is sort of out there. And I put together a coaching program, what I feel is sort of like some of the key components that a loan officer needs to be successful, right? So we provide the loan officers with that, right? So that's it. That's what we have for you. I appreciate all of you taking the time. This is my email right here, Ramon@clientdirectmtg.com, Mary Tom George, Ramon@clientdirectmtg, MaryTomGeorge.com. This is an amazing opportunity. We have a couple of 6 or 7 people that have kind of like already taken advantage of it. I'm probably not going to have everybody in the world be a recruiter. So if you are interested in it, please get with me as soon as possible. All right. Then I can answer any additional questions you might have. And we can get you on the path to your first 62 productive loan officers, which are going to guarantee to net you $250,000. And just really quick, I'll end it with this. The production is already there. When you go out and you look at the MMI or the Modex, you can see that this loan officer that you're recruiting already does this frequency of business. So there's not a question of, am I going to make X amount of money? It's in the stats already. You know what the forecast is going to be. That's the beautiful thing about what we put together. And believe me, I promise you, the value metric or the value meter that these retail loan officers, because the majority of them are retail loan officers, the value metric that they assess us on with the ones that I've talked to is extremely high. They're like, this is awesome. This is awesome. My rates are better. I'm making more money. You have a great system. You have a POS link. You have Salesforce. You have the support. You have the SOS line. You have Rockets paying for my credit reports and my rapid reach. This is amazing. This is almost too good to be true. Well, took a long time. This is a long time in the making, right? This is 10 years. This is a 10-year career of acceleration, a 10-year career of running at high speeds, right? Fast, successful, build, win is the mentality, right? And we want everybody to be a part of that. So if you feel like you have the characteristic, the desire, the ambition to work with us, we'd absolutely love to have you. All right, guys, thanks so much. Looking forward to talking to a lot of you.